Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another Stratego video. It's going to be another ranked game in analysis. This one against Ram is Dude. This recording is probably going to be pretty long, like upwards of 40 minutes. I guarantee you, it is worth it to watch it. It's a very intense game. So yeah, let's get right into it. I used the noob core setup again because this player is a silver sergeant. So he starts opening up on the left. She's just we're kind of just filling each other out at this point, just seeing what we have. Here, I moved the sergeant out. I just want to bluff this scout as a bomb. That's the main thing of that move. He lets me move in here, and I just wanna see what he does. I'm not looking to find a marshal here, and it would be great if I did, but I'm just looking to see what he takes it with. So takes it with the captain. So now, since I know this is a captain, I want to come up with this captain, see if I can get this piece, and then trade. And here I'm bluffing the scout as a bomb. So yeah, so we get a sergeant from that. That's pretty good. We go left because this piece moves, and I'd be happy to get a scout and a sergeant for a captain. So it looks like I will be able to. And this could be a major. I don't think this is, but this could be a non. I'm okay with that because a major is a good target to find. So I don't take it because I know I can take this like any time I want because I have the empty square. So go ahead and take it. And I waited for until the sergeant was here because I'm trying to sell this as like a colonel or general, or like some sort of higher piece than a captain. So then he might not want to take it with a major because then the sergeant would take him if this was like a colonel general. So that's why I brought that up. But he does take it with a major. So what that tells me is that since there's a captain here and a major here, and he might think this is a good piece. That means this piece is probably good because if I go up, he'll probably go back here, and this piece will protect both of them. So I'm thinking that this is probably like a general or a marshal. Because a colonel wouldn't guard a major. I mean, anything. It could be like a scout or something as well, but I think it's general marshal. So I debate. So you see there, I debate going up with my sergeant there, but if he very well might call it because it came from here. So yeah, I just decided not to. So moving over here, he obviously wants to scout it, and I'm okay with that. I'd be happy if he basically wastes a scout on this sergeant because scouting a sergeant, it's not worth it if he scouts a sergeant, and looks like he does. So yeah, I'm happy about that. It's that. So here I decided to take it with my lieutenant, even though you could argue, oh, but it could hit a bomb, and then you wouldn't have to reveal the lieutenant. But I decided to do that because my lieutenant is definitely it's guarded by my gen and major, so I feel like it's protected. Also, I feel like revealing a lieutenant for a sergeant is better than having it find a bomb. Because then he finds this, he may like a lot of this. It's just not good. You always want to keep your bombs hidden as long as possible. So this is the captain. So we know just a little recap. Captain, major. This is a frontal piece. So that's probably nothing spectacular, and I think this is a good piece. This might be a colonel or something, but I don't think this is. I mean, I guess this totally could be the marshal. So we find a captain here. So now I decided to go up with my major because this is a frontal piece. It's not higher than a captain, and I might be able to get something good here. Goes back, lets me hit this. It's a lieutenant, so that's good. So here there, which tells me at least one of these is higher than well, at least one of these is probably a kernel or something. That makes sense because these are very common spots for high pieces. So here I'd say we're up by a little bit, but not that much. So this is guarding the captain now, which makes me think this is a good piece. So he's retreating it in. I don't think this is anything good, but I think one or not both of these is I think they're probably good pieces. So I bring the scout up. I'm just kind of like probing because it's still early game. I'm just trying to find out targets. for once the Marshal General revealed. Yeah, so there, I signaled that there are probably a lot of good pieces over here. We will find out if I'm right or not later in the game. So here I decided to bring the Colonel up because we know Captain and we know Major. And so I found a website that shows Stratego statistics. I might link it in the description if I remember. I probably won't, but yeah, if I do, I will link it. And that said that I think there was about like a 5 or 6% chance that either of these was a marshal or general, which makes this major fairly easy to attack. But yes, let's just see what I do. Yeah, so the statistics are really helpful while playing Stratego, especially against low-level players because their setups are typically like pretty close to what the statistics say. So I bring this guy up here. I'm just feeling around for what this guy was gonna do. It's a pretty obvious bluff, but it's just Scout, and I'm okay with losing it. That's unfortunate. I always like to attack behind the lakes because these are very common spots for good pieces, and this is a more common spot for a good piece than this spot, which is why I did that. And this is already a known captain. So here, this is probably a lieutenant because um this is pretty obviously guarded by some good stuff. So I highly doubt that he would take it with like something higher because people typically like to exchange when they're in that situation. So here, I'm completely willing to take the sergeant with the lieutenant for info because I'm up 2 sergeants, I'm up a lieutenant, and I'm totally fine with changing that to being up 3 sergeants and even on lieutenants and knowing like a captain or higher. Like I'm completely fine with doing that. So as I suspected, he traded on the right hand side, which I'm okay with. So here I'm totally okay with hitting the sergeant because I want info of this piece. I don't think it's anything spectacular, but if it is, it'll be interesting. So we got a major, so that's excellent. So now we know major, captain, captain, major. So he has one more major that I don't know, but I know 2 majors, which is very good. Also, you can assume now that this is probably not a good piece because it's major here, the captain's here. I don't think this is a good piece. It very well could be still, but since I'm pretty sure this is a good piece, or this one, I don't think this is anything good. I just don't. It could be, definitely could be, but I don't think so. And here, okay, so remember this. This major is known. I took a lieutenant over here with it. So this is a known major. Remember that. I'm pretty sure later in the game that comes into play. And that sergeant is not known, which is why I move it up there. And this is pretty funny. He thought this was a good piece, then he decided to hit it with the scout. So I'm happy with that. I'm not going to do anything else with the sergeant. I'm just going to move it back because this guy is a silver player. His memory is probably not the best, so I'm just going to be happy with my small victory and just move it back. So at this point in the game, he knows one major, which is this one. I know 2 majors, I believe here and here, and I also know 2 captains here and here, and he knows no captains. So I'm down 1 captain, up 3 sergeants, but I know an info of 1 extra major and 2 extra captains, so I'm definitely winning at this point in the game. And also my high pieces over here, they're not that obvious right now, but his something over here is like very high ranking. So he goes down the sergeant. I'm totally okay with whatever he decides to do here. So here, notice what I do with this colonel, okay? So most low players, they're like, oh, free captain, I'm just gonna take that. But here, I don't take it. And you will see why later. So here, this is, so I thought this was a good piece, but it wasn't. And this is a captain, so he's just gonna take me. So that was a net loss, but at least we got another scout. So I guess that's good. So now, okay, so now here I signal that these are good pieces. It's just kind of obvious by like his setup and what he's doing over here, like where he's retreating pieces to and stuff like that. So I move this up like I'm scared of this captain. My objective is to get out to here and then have him like hit me with one of them. So I go up and I want him to go up and then I'll like hold, he'll hit me with one of them and then I'll get the other one. Unfortunately, he hits me with this one, but that's actually good because then I can trap this one. Only problem is I don't have a major nearby. Even if I did, I don't think I would want to give up that info because I can like here I can give up my marshal info for that, but that's not worth it. I could exchange captains, but So yeah, because I know whenever I move here, he's gonna want to find out whenever I move over here rather than this known kernel, because it makes sense. Like you always want as much info as possible. So yeah, it kind of sucks that I can't really take that captain with anything, but it is trapped against my kernel. So here I'm trying to lure him into this bomb. I think I'm like, oh, he's gonna hit it, but he actually decides not to hit it. Makes sense because this guy is a moving piece. It's pretty obvious it's lower than a captain. Okay, so that piece that came out. I think that this is a good piece because um it was defending. I think it was defending that captain and kind of this major. So I think this could be like General Marshall like that good. I said the trade-off, and that's because I want to scout this. He's right here, so low level players they would typically go scout to here, right? But that's not what you're supposed to do. But that's not what I did. That's because if I go to here, I know he's just gonna go right and threaten my major, and then I'm gonna go like down or something. He'll go down, then I won't be able to scout anymore. And moreover, this is gonna be a known scout. If I do that, then I won't be able to find out what this piece is. So I realized that I debate doing it, but then I decided to go major down first because if he doesn't go over here, so if he just holds here, I'm gonna get to find out what that is. So he was over, which is fine. I just on something. I just retreat. He was back, so I can scout it now. Unless this is a scout, he's not stopping me because this is already a major. I already know that. So I'm gonna get info on this thing, whatever it is. I think it's General Marshall, but it could also be like a Colonel or something. Well, that's what I was thinking like while I was playing. So it turns out to be a Colonel. So that's good. So now our info on Colonels is even. So we each know a Colonel. I'm still up info of a major. Unfortunately, I'm not up info of the captains anymore. So I know one more major than he does, but because I know major colonel and he knows major colonel, but he will forget this later. Um, yeah, I'm still up a little bit of info, and I am up two sergeants down a scout, but that doesn't matter much. Here, I bring this minor up because this is a logical bluff because it was defending this major here. Also, it came from the center, which typically good pieces are like I'm here. So he tucks that colonel away. Thankfully, I have a Stratego board, so I will remember this. But yeah, tucking pieces away. It makes sense because people like they might not remember them. This piece I'm pretty confident this is garbage, but I'm hoping that he might think that this is like good because it was finding my major. So fortunately, it was a lieutenant. Now I think that this was he probably thought this was a general or a marshal because he was fighting the major. He was probably trying to get info on this, but he ended up taking it, or maybe he thought it was a bluff. I'm not entirely sure, but no matter, we did lose that matter to it. So now here with this colonel, I'm trying to threaten this lieutenant, and I just want to see what he does here. Also, I want to see what like he moves out next to because this colonel is known. I want to see I might be able to get this major because I know that the chances that these two are becoming, I mean, the chances that these two, also this thing, these chances of them being like Marshal General, it's so incredibly low that I'm okay with hitting it and taking that risk. So it looks like he's kind of backing off with that, which makes sense. Now I'm trying to like kind of just like get him in like an awkward board position where he's like kind of concentrated because when your opponent is kind of like has a lot of their pieces in a small area, it makes it pretty easy to board read like where their good pieces are because they'll be defending like more pieces than lower ranked ones. So as he brings his major, I mean I'm sorry, not major, his colonel out here to defend that lieutenant, which makes sense. He's trying to scare me. I'm not entirely sure why, because it doesn't really accomplish anything. He's bringing this over. This is not like a piece that came from the front row. So here, I want to see what he'll do. I want to see if he'll move this piece out, because I am confident that this is a good piece. Because it came from here, this is a very common spot for like any good piece, like Marshal General. This is a common spot. And it's guarding the lieutenant. It was guarding captain, or when there's a captain here. I'm very I'm pretty sure that's a good piece. I'm very confident in that. So this is interesting. He moves this down, trying. I think this is So what I'm playing, I'm like, there's no way that that's the Marshal General because it came from here. The chance of this being so I checked the chances. the chances of this being a martial general, I think it's like 3%, which is something super low. And even if he was a martial, I'll be okay with that because he's moved a ton of pieces over here, and there's like a colonel, which is a good target for me, a major. So I'm happy with coming up here with my gen and getting some of that stuff. So I'm pretty sure this is a bluff piece. Now me, even though like I sometimes think pieces are bluffs, I don't like calling bluffs because, especially with high pieces, because if I call it and then it's not a bluff, then it's just not good for me. Yeah, think about this for a while. Okay, yep. So there you go. This was a bluff. Now, ordinarily, if it was a bluff and I called it and it was like confirmed bluffed, I would hit it. But I am confident that this is a good piece. So I go in here because the chances of this being a martial or general, they're so incredibly low. And I don't think this is a martial general either. I don't think this is either. And this ran away from my kernel, so that's not either. So here, so what would you do? So I thought about this move for a while. I could take this major, but what I was thinking is that I was confident that this was a good piece. I was pretty sure this was general or martial because it's like it's guarding all these pretty high ranking pieces. So I'm confident that this is a good piece. So I do not want to take this because if I take this, he'll go left and then I'll be caught 2 square and I'll just lose this kernel and yeah, I'm like I could get a free major, but I don't want that. Now, low level players, they'll probably be like, oh, free major, I'm going to take that as quickly as possible. But you have to think about what they're going to, they have to think about, like, what the consequences are and what they're going to move if you take that major. So ultimately, I decided to back off because I am confident that this being a good piece. And keep this piece in mind later in the game. Just like where it is. Sorry. I'm coming up with the sergeant to bluff. I want to see how bluffable this guy is. This piece, I don't think this is anything good because it would have threatened my major earlier if I mean when I was going for this lieutenant. This would have threatened it earlier. So I don't think this is anything of value. This thing could be because it is like guarding the center a little bit, but I don't think this is. I mean, it could be like a spy or something because it's guarding a lot of different pieces. So here I could take this right. I'm like pretty sure this is garbage, like a scour or mire, something of that sort. But the problem is, if it is, I'm just gonna lose this to the sergeant to a known lieutenant, and I don't want that. So that was unfortunate, and that's because he only has 2 lieutenants, and one of them was here, and so this was the only piece in this entire rest of the board that does lieutenant, and any of these pieces could have been the lieutenant, and there's only one more, but it happened to be there, and I happened to have a sergeant, so that was pretty unfortunate, but it's whatever. Okay, lost the sergeant. It's no big deal. At least we know all of his lieutenants, and lieutenants, even though it's not important, I mean, even though they don't look very important, if you don't have any, it's not good for you. Because then it's just hard because then people they're gonna start coming up as sergeants. You're gonna have to reveal captains for sergeants, and it's just not a good time. So we get that lieutenant. That's good. So now he only has one more lieutenant, and I already know where it is. So I don't know what he's doing over here with this piece. I had a big going up, but so I decided there's gonna be a major somewhere over there, so I just decided not to. So I came up with this major because I figured that his pieces are they're all like consolidated over here, like all those good pieces. So I consider so I'm pretty sure that I doubt he'll have a piece that can take this. And also, even if I do lose it, I'll still be up a lieutenant and a sergeant, and I'll be up a lot of info if if it does get taken. So yeah, here, what he's doing over here, I don't think this is a good idea for him because he's just consolidating his pieces even more, and he's just making it like a block, which makes it very difficult for him to defend other parts of the board. So those lieutenants coming over. So here, I just want to see if he thinks this is a good piece. Remember, this is a major, this is a lieutenant. So he didn't take it with the major, but he also. So I'm not sure if he thinks this is good or not because I'm pretty sure this is not defended. So this was a colonel. I would totally take this major because I'm confident his good pieces are like. I'm confident this is a good piece. So I just had to retreat because I don't want to lose a scout for nothing. I could keep it there for a bluff, but I don't want to lose it for nothing. And also my major on the right side is not known, so I'm totally fine with like because I want to run this major up and get him to hit it with this lieutenant in the exchange because I'll just have like a net gain of one lieutenant, and that's excellent because I don't have to lose any like extra info for it. So that's what I'm trying to do now, but I have to make sure that my Janet and my spy are covered first because you don't want to just get like a gen scattered out or a spy. It's just never good. So again, he's making this clump of pieces, which I just think it's a bad idea because it's basically impossible for him to formulate an offense now. He's committed to be on the defense, which is good. It's very good for me. So this piece, it ran away from my colonel before. This was the piece he tried to bluff by moving it down here. So I know that this isn't good, but I want him to think that like, oh, I forgot it because I'm not taking it because I'm very confident that this is a good piece. Again, now that he's moving all around it and it still hasn't moved, it totally could be a bomb. I'm still confident that this is a good piece. So he's bringing over that major, and I don't really care what he's doing over there because I'm completely fine with it. So here, but before going over, I want to bring this captain up because if this is a scout, he can like scout my spire or my gen, and that just wouldn't be good. So now that my captain's here, I can now go major left and just see what he does. So if you were this guy, what would you do against this? I think I would hit this with the major, but that's only because these two are both known majors and this is a known lieutenant. Because if he hit it with this, then I'll check this. This would be on the diagonal at least. Or he could like hit me with this and then I'll take this or something like that. Because if this is a colonel, then I'm gonna get a major regardless. So I'm not really sure what I would do if I were him. I might like move this major left or something like that. Yeah, this is not a good situation for this guy, especially because it's pretty obvious his high piece is over here. So here I decide to hold, and so what I'm thinking now is that I can bring. So I wanna get this piece drawn over here, so then I can like take over here. So here, I know that I'm pretty sure that this is higher than a lieutenant. So I want to go captain up here because then if it takes me, I can get this, and I'm pretty sure this is higher. This is not a major because it wouldn't make sense. Major, major, major. That just doesn't make sense. So it looks like he has missing me with Louis. So now I just trade off because I'm happy with that. Getting a lieutenant basically for free, and also getting pieces off the board. I'm perfectly happy with that. So now, if you look at the scoreboard over here, he has no lieutenants and he has one sergeant. So if I get rid of that sergeant, I can start coming up with sergeants, even though they are like super buried like here and here. But then he'll have to reveal captains for sergeants, and that's not a place you want to be. I can even start bringing in minors if that sergeant is taken. So it threatens me with this. So this, I really don't think this is a good piece because I know that this is a good piece. Well, I don't know, but I suspect this as being a good piece, so I really don't think this is a good piece. But out of caution, I just move this back because I don't know why, but I'm super afraid to call bluffs with high ranking pieces because if it's not a bluff, it's not good. Maybe I'm like too cautious or something. But yeah, I just don't like calling bluffs with good pieces. So actually, with this again, I'm not sure about this piece. I'm not sure if it's a good piece or not. I can't remember what it ends up being, but I don't think that's a good piece. So here I make a little bit of a mistake, in my opinion. So you'll see in a little bit on the next move what I decide to do with this lieutenant. So I decided to attack this piece. Now, I'm pretty sure this is not a good piece, but I should have thought that this was a captain because it came from here. This lieutenant, it wasn't known, I don't think, but he still has two captains left, so it's definitely possible for it to be a captain. And it's not a lieutenant, and he wouldn't have a background like major, colonel, general, marshal, or anything like that. So this is a pretty obvious captain. So we take a scout and we get hit by a captain. So that's not good. At least we know another captain, but I could have played that a lot better. So now I can come up with this captain because I know one majors and one captain. So he only has one more major and one more captain. So I'm thinking that I can get like a lot of good info for this. So his major's coming over. So the captain is not known, but he might think it's a captain or like maybe a lieutenant or something like that. So it looks like his major's coming down the center. So I go back just to make sure that he can't fork me, even though I don't think that he would because he's probably scared of one if not both of these pieces. I don't think he would, but just in case I do that. I almost made a blunder there if you saw it. I almost moved that 2 spaces. That in this case, I'm pretty sure this is not a good piece. He moves on my scout with his colonel, so I decided to go back one. I want to see if he's brave enough to move in or not. So he's my captain with a scout, so I'm okay with that. I decided to go back with that scout. I'm gonna go down here. So if you're smart, he would move in, right? Because this colonel is known, and this major is known, this captain is known, and the scout ran away from the colonel. So he should totally go in here. He wouldn't obviously hit the major, because unless this was like a general or marshal, which it isn't, he could get one of these pieces. So if I were him, that's what I would have done. But it's weird how I moved back. So here, I'm like, oh, maybe he thinks this scout is a really good piece because he's not moving next to it. But I should have remembered that that scout ran away from his colonel earlier. So it wouldn't make sense for it to be like a general or marshal because I would have just taken it. So I move up in the captain. I just want to see where he moves it to. So he moves it to there. I don't think this is good, but I just don't want to go into space too much because I'm worried about like, oh, I could get trapped. So we know that this is a colonel and that this is a major. So I want to see if he remembers me remembers what this is. So looks like he either he doesn't want to exchange or he doesn't remember what it is. So I just go scout left just because he's with the captain. So this major is known. It hit a lieutenant earlier in the game. So we get a captain pretty much for free from that known major. So I mean that's pretty nice, right? So I back up because I'm happy with what I got. I don't want to like push my luck with that major. I'm happy that I got a captain because now I'm up a captain of a lieutenant and up a sergeant. So this guy's getting he's running a bit low on lower pieces, which is very good because it makes it very easy to board read setup. Coming out with that, again, I don't think that's good, but out of caution, I don't want to take it because I think it came from like here's something of the sort, and again, I'm confident that this is a good piece. So I really don't think that's good, but you never know with these bronze players. So that move that tells me this is garbage because because this is not the type of player that just moves like really good pieces out in the open. So yeah, that tells me that piece is complete trash. So I don't want to move next to it with my scout because then he'll just hit it. It's probably like some sort of sergeant or minor or something like that. So it's coming back with that major. So here I'm making sure I have defense for all my pieces because I don't want to just give him a free captain. Here I really hope he doesn't take this captain because then he'll reveal my gen and it's hard for me to play when my high pieces are revealed. So if he reveals this, he can deduce from that this is the gen spy kernel trap. So I try going down because okay, so I tried going down because I didn't want to lose captain for the major and like and him finding out the gen. I'd be okay with taking the major with the gen without losing that captain. But he doesn't let me. So moving out here was not a good move. I should have just kept it stationary because he could have scouted it if that was a scout, but he didn't. Actually, no, I would have three square, but it's just yeah, it just wasn't a good move. I was like I could have bluffed it as a bomb because he might think this is a bomb. He also might think it's the marsh. I don't really know what he's thinking, but I haven't moved that piece all game. Granted, he hasn't moved this piece all game, but I'm still confident this is a general or marshal. So if he's coming over to threaten my colonel with whatever that is. And here, I'm trying to find out what this is still. I've been trying to find that out all game. It's with this colonel calling my bluff. And here, I was really bad. I'm like, how did he call that when he was like running away from it earlier? That's because it ran away from his colonel when they first interacted. So that was a really obvious bluff. Good job to him for calling it. I probably wouldn't have called that to be honest. Actually, I probably would have because it ran away before. But calling bluffs with Colonel, it's always scary. So I come up with my Colonel here, seeing if I can snag this major because it's not known. So this is what I don't understand. So he probably thought that this wasn't a good piece, but it came from right here. This is a very common spot for like Colonel General Marshall. This is a very common spot for a good piece. But I don't understand why he stayed there. Like either he could have hit me, he could have like brought this piece down, or like something over to defend this. But he has a major. I mean, a colonel does not defend a major. That's just it just doesn't work. So I mean, we get a free major. Like who's complaining about that? Here I want to exchange, but he's not gonna let me. He's three squares, so I just don't bother with that. Again, I'm really confident that this is a good piece, but now I'm like it might not be because it could have easily moved down to defend the major. So either it's like a bluff he's trying to sell, or it's a bomb, or it's the marshal or something like that. So yeah, I have no idea what to think of that piece. Here, I think this is a bluff. I'm just too scared to call it. I'll bring up the minor because I'm pretty sure because he only has one sergeant left, so I doubt that that's a sergeant. Even if it is, I can just take it and then he'll be out of sergeants. That's why I kind of with the minor opposed to anything else. It might have been better to come up with lieutenant. Send the corner flag still could have been a possibility for a bomb than flag location, but I think if that was a captain, I was thinking that could have been a captain. I didn't want to lose a lieutenant to a captain. So here I just want to see what he does. I think that this is a bluff, but now that he's like acting like he doesn't want to reveal it, it still totally could be a bluff though. So that's the colonel. This is again, I still think this is a good piece. I still do. This game, I'm like, I still think it's a good piece, even though it hasn't moved all game. I still think it's a general or marshal. So here, I really want to find out what this is. I think this is a good piece. So I decided to well you'll see what I decided to do. This came from the side. I don't think there's anything of value. So I go up here. I want to see if it'll go down, if it'll go up, like what it'll do with this piece. So he still does not want me to find out what it is. So I decided to go right here because this piece is defending this piece, whatever this is, and it's defending this. Again, I still don't think this is a bomb. It might be the spy or something, but decided to see what this is because this very well could be a good piece. And judging by this guy's playstyle, how he like consolidates bad pieces around good pieces, I think this could be a good piece. Now, I know also from his playstyle that he typically doesn't have like good pieces like out in the open where they can be scouted. So I don't think this is anything good because I know that even if I call this bluff and I take it, then his piece here will be able to get free from my minor hitting it. So I decided after a lot of time to consider my options, I decided to hit that piece with a minor, and it's the marshal. So that is amazing info. So now that we know that, I have a Colonel here I can take with my gen. I have a lot of pieces I can take with my gen. But I don't want to be too obvious with it because then he's just going to block it with his marshal or he's going to like exchange gens or something of that sort. And I don't want that happening. I want to be less obvious with it. So now I'm wondering, what in the world is this piece? Like, like, is it the spy? It's and probably not the spy, but it's probably not the gen because he opposed having because he would rather have his marshal revealed than the gen, which doesn't make any sense. Or maybe this is just a super good bluff he's trying to sell. I don't know. But that was a bit of a blunder on his end. I would have hit that piece with whatever this is rather than revealing your marshal because that's the worst thing that can happen to you in Stratego, in my opinion. Looks like he's pitting my colonel there. I'm okay with that because I can just kind of wet my gen. I'm being a little bit obvious. So here, I don't know why. Why isn't he moving in? This is known. This is known. Uh, this is. I don't think it's known. But actually, again, He might think this is the spy because it wasn't next to my gen. This gen coming out is it's not. I wouldn't say it's extremely obvious, but it's like it's slightly obvious. So yeah, he's not gonna try to fork my kernel in major. I don't know why. And he's probably scared of the captain. So this guy is he's too cautious. He doesn't take big enough risks. Like my me bringing that kernel up left to try to hit the major, that was a pretty big risk. So yeah, this just confirms that this piece is garbage. Now I'm starting to have doubts. I'm like, okay, the marshal was here. This is probably some like bomb or some sort of other garbage, and I could have gotten that major for free. So that's what I'm thinking here. So if you want to, I guess like if you want to, you can put that down in the comments if you think it's a good piece. If you want to, it's completely up to you. As that is just see what he does. I want to see if he leads it over here. So that's interesting. So he's leading over here, even though he could have easily gone down towards his marshal. He's leading you over here, which kind of tips me off that this is a good piece. It might be, might not be, but here I want to trade kernels because my kernel's a bit vulnerable right now, but not very vulnerable because the marshal's here, so I can just avoid any other piece. My spy is in a good spot right now. It is relatively obvious with my jet with my gen there, but since it's not my gen's not known, it's not like the most obvious thing in the world. So it's coming over with this marshal. I want to make sure that all my pieces here are safe from the marshal. So I bring Jen over. Then I need to get this colonel next to my spy. And then I need to get this captain to safety. So if I were this guy, I would bring this colonel over and trap this captain. So this move was a blunder in my opinion because I can go captain down. I can bring my Jen out, threaten this colonel, threaten this piece, threaten this piece. I can just do so much stuff and kind of force a gen exchange now. So if you're smart, he would hit this gen, but he might be afraid that this is like a bluff or something, which is totally reasonable. But this guy, I feel like he's too afraid to attack pieces, so he doesn't. So now since he moved this out, I'm pretty sure this is the gen coming to trade with my gen. So I think here he realized that he messed up, and now he has to go. So now he should be going back to try to stop my gen, and he'll be able to stop it. But I don't really understand this. Maybe like this spy was super obvious. Maybe he knew he would get caught by this spy and just wanted to do that. But that's weird because now my general I can just trade generals, and then I'll just be up so much stuff that he won't be able to come back. So I'm gonna quickly I'm gonna start speeding up the rest of this game a little bit because this is obviously a little bit less interesting than the rest of it. Don't get me wrong, this is still good. Like this is still a good part of the game because even though I'm up a lot, I could still totally lose. So we should captains over there. This piece chances of this being good it's so low, so I just decided to call it and we cheat captain. So now if you look at the scoreboard, he has one major, one sergeant, no captains or lieutenants. So I just bring my spy up here. So remember, this spy is known. It captures Marshall, so he should know that this is my spy. This piece, I'm like, this is a sergeant that came behind this piece, which is probably a bomb. So he moves there. I'm like, okay, well, I guess we can trade gens. Like, I'm perfectly happy with that, but it's just a scout. So that it makes you think maybe this is the gen. So I've been thinking it was a high piece the entire game. But then I'm like, oh, but maybe it's this piece, even though I highly doubt it. I mean, you never know, right? So this colonel's coming over here. So now a newer player would probably bring the marshal over here to like trap the colonel. It wouldn't be that difficult, but then my colonel's open, my mate is open, my flag's a little bit open, and it's just not good because his general still isn't known. But where do you think the gen is? Do you think it's this piece? Do you think it's this piece? Do you think it's something else? Do you think his gen's here? Or do you think it's like, I don't know, here in the center? Like, I guess it could be here, but it's no, it couldn't be here. It could be here, something like that. Yeah, I don't think that's the gen. I really don't think it is. I just had to go up with this lieutenant, so then I can stop it if it is. So I can like check it. So I'm gonna go for with my lieutenant to check the piece. If you're smart, he would move it like back. It says take the bomb, so that was a minor. So he was bluffing me all that time. So he's probably thinking now, was it really worth it? Was it worth it to get my marshal revealed, to keep a minor bluff, to get my minor captured by a sergeant? Was it worth it? Probably thinking that. No, my marshal's pretty obvious. My gen's known, but it still hasn't moved. But still, it's pretty obvious. That piece I'm thinking that's probably his other colonel. Hit it. It's a major. I'm totally happy with that because now I know major. I know colonel. This could be the gen. This could be the gen. This could be the gen. But I'm thinking it's this piece. So now I actually need to know the other colonel, and I will be good to go. So I guess that's part of the game. It's a little lesson on how to trap pieces while also not giving up board position. So I'm gonna chase majors, just see what he does. So again, makes me think even more that this is a good piece because he wouldn't just like I could just go right, he could go down, I would go right again. He wouldn't just let me fork these. So either this is the gen, or this is the gen, or he's just bluffing, which is totally in the cards. But even if he was bluffing, I'd still get a free piece, so it wouldn't be like good for him. Also, he's at least letting me trap this major when saying that these two neither of these are the gen. But then it makes me think this is gen spy, because those pieces are typically together. So remember, this spy is known. I captured the marshal with it. Remember that. And I don't get it. He's running away from my spy, which is known. His major is known. Like, I don't understand that at all. So I go left because I'm pretty sure that this is his spy. It could also be the gen, but I'm okay with finding out either of them. So here, he might realize, okay, this is a spy. Or maybe he thinks like, oh, maybe it's the marshal. Like, or maybe he thinks maybe it's like a scout or something. So that's funny. We exchanged spies. So that's pretty funny. I'm not sure if he thought that my spy was known. I'm not sure if he knew it or not. But that was a big blunder on his end because that just makes me even more sure that this is the gen. So now I'm trying to get the scout out to see if I move next to it, will it move? Because these still could be bomb. It hasn't moved yet. So he's bringing that major back. So yeah, this guy's lost he's lost a major, a captain, and his spy from losing track of. No, he didn't lose a major, but he lost a captain and a spy as a result of not keeping track of my pieces. That's why it's important to have a good memory. Like myself, I don't have a good memory, so I gotta get memory by playing with the Stratego board next to me to mark pieces. Because my memory is so bad, I'm gonna work on like my gameplay and then I'm gonna work on my memory later. So I'm just going up with the scout. I just want to see what happens. I'm just kind of seeing if he'll move that piece, which I still think is a good piece. He's bringing this out. It makes you think that he's either trying to trap this, thinking it's not a scout, or he just doesn't want this scouted. I said hold because going left here would make it too obvious. Because since he does this, I don't like. Pretty obvious. I don't want to get trapped, so I'd rather go left. So that's what I'm like trying to make him think here. It's a moment of truth. It can move. So I'm pretty sure now that this is the gen because it was right next to the spy. So that makes you think that my predictions throughout the game was correct. Like back when I had the kernel over here, I could have taken the major, but I didn't think so because I thought this was a good piece. Here I decided to go up because these two are moving. This is the gen. I'm like 95% sure. I would like to confirm it. And if this is a bomb, I will. Like he can just move down. But if this is a bomb, it'll make him like it'll make it like him have to keep his pieces over here. I don't know, but it's not a bomb. But if it was a bomb, it would be pretty good. So we find a miner there. It's nothing spectacular. I just decided to come up with my kernel because the gen here it's insanely obvious. And I want to get this major over here, so I can two square it. So now comes the part of trapping pieces without losing your board position or like getting your flag captured or something like that. So his gen again, it's super obvious here. So I just decided to go down. Now he should keep on me. Yes, so he does. So here I really want to bring my marshal over here. I could easily bring it up the center and get this kernel, but then he just rushed by my flag with like his gen and this known miner here. It wouldn't be that hard to get because I don't have much good stuff over here. So I gotta like exchange gens, then like trap this and exchange kernels or something like that. This guy's going pretty deep into his buffer timing. He has less than a minute of buffer left. So that's coming down. That is the major. I'm pretty sure it is. Wait, no, that's not. Sorry, I can't remember that. I'm pretty sure this is the major. Actually, I can't believe I don't remember. I remembered in the recording, but my memory is so bad that I I can't remember. So I think here because I know that I can totally bring this up here and trap this piece because I think here I'm pretty sure that so here I'm like okay this is a major. I'm pretty sure this is a kernel. So I want to bring my gen over here and trap this piece because I know that so I can go marshal right because if this kernel comes down here I'll be okay because my captain I can just move marshal over or captain over something like that. So then I'm well defended. And also here I can pressure and force a gen exchange unless he wants to lose this piece. So if I don't entirely know why, and he's forced to go down. So here I could trap this kernel here. That'll be very easy. But here I'm like, this is a kernel. He doesn't go down. These have both moved. He can hit one of these, and then won't be very good for me. Also, he'll have an advantage of the board position. So he might bring a miner down or something like that. So I decided to go for this piece instead. Colonel's coming down here, but I don't really care because I can easily defend all my stuff here by just going captain up. There's a den down. That was the best move, in my opinion, for him to do. He brings the colonel down. I'm okay with that. I'm just gonna go left, force a trade, unless he wants to go up or left, which would be the wise move. He should go up here because if he goes left, I'll just go right and threaten this major. So he goes left. I have no clue why. And I'm just gonna threaten this major here. So now I decided to get my gen over to here. I go over here just so he can't like pull off some shenanigans. So this major is in a very bad spot. So now I offer him in the trade, but he'd rather lose this piece than trade. So he values his general a lot, but the thing is, my general is doing a lot of stuff. His general is doing absolutely nothing, so he should be trading. So yeah, he should be trading with me because his general is being way less useful than mine is. But then again, he's down a lot of material, so he may not want to, and I understand that. So this was just a minor that was pretty unfortunate. So I reeled my marshal for that. But again, it was pretty obvious, and any piece I can get here is helpful. No, again, I can trap this kernel here, and also I can trap this major. If the kernel's coming over, I don't really know what his plan is with that. Because at this point in the game, my marshal is invincible because he doesn't have marshal, he doesn't have a spy. So here I'm just gonna continue going for this major with my kernel. Now I can bring my gen up and over, and the reason being is because I can because his gen can't come down here because my lieutenant I'll just two square him and he won't be able to get him matter down because if worst comes to worst, I can always just bring my marshal back. So I know that now it's safe to trap that major. He's going over here to get my lieutenant. I don't care because a major's more valuable. Here he realized his mistake. He's like, okay, I'll trade with you now. But I'm like, no, I'd rather get a major than trade. And also I can trap his colonel with my gen and marsh. So it's not really beneficial to me to for me to trade. So he's going for this captain because it moved. So both these have moved, but this has not moved. So I'm just gonna hope he doesn't hit it. But I'm gonna get this major. There's nothing he can do about that. So he might like trap my lieutenant or something, but I'm totally fine with that. So we get that major with the colonels. That is excellent. So now we're down a colonel, up a marshal, up two majors, up a captain, up a lieutenant. Now I'm gonna speed this up even more because now it's just mop up. So his general's coming over to capture my lieutenant. I'm totally fine with that. I bring my gen down because I know that I can get his colonel, and there was absolutely nothing he can do to save it. So that piece coming down, and I don't think there's anything spectacular. It's probably like a sergeant or minor, probably minor coming to like checkers or something like that. But you could be shocked with what this is. So this piece, this kernel, makes sense. So that was a kernel. That was a back row kernel. That's interesting. So I trapped this kernel. That was the best move because if that piece moved, it was for sure gonna be a hit, and it's better to do that than just lose it to like a general or marshal. That's already known. At this point, the game's over. We know general, we know colonel, and besides that, he has like a sergeant and three minors. So there's not much he can really do at this point. So his gen and colonel are coming on the left side. I just bring my gen to the center to deny him access to the right side. I do that, and he, for some reason, he decides to trade with me. I don't know why, because now I can just go march to the left and his colonel's trapped. So, trading for him, I mean, he didn't really have any good options, but now my majors and my colonel are invincible. I mean, because that's because his colonel is trapped. Um, like I trapped it with my marshal. Well, I cornered it rather. So yeah, there's not really much you can do. Speeds up even more. 'Cause I don't want you guys like wading through this. This piece I think is a sergeant because it came from behind this piece, which is obviously a bomb. And that's the known minor. So props to this guy. He played until the end, which a lot of players just surrender when they're at the stage. And to be honest, I probably would as well. But I just take that. It's so that was the sergeant. So now my sergeant is also invincible. And there's absolutely nothing he runs that into my major. So he has two minors and that colonel left. His flag, it's obviously bombed in right here. So he just gets continues to get trapped. Now I can just continue to trap his miners with my many pieces that are unkillable. Yeah, I bring out the sergeant because the sergeant is my favorite Stratego piece. You see, I just bring it out because it's basically at this point in the game, my sergeant is worth the same as my colonel, which is pretty funny. See, actually, it's also worth the same as my Marshall. See, here I'm just kind of, I don't know why I don't know why I'm drawing it out. I think I'm just paranoid that I'm gonna like somehow like mess up the end game and like let a minor slip through. But I don't. Maybe I end up doing that. I don't know. Watch the video to find out. No, I don't end up letting a minor slip by. So he's a good sport. He said good game. Many people might be like, oh, I wasted an hour of my time only to lose. I'm gonna be like really mad in the chat. But this guy wasn't. So props to this guy. So we're just chopping the last of the miners, and this is going to be good game. So we get 14 elo from that. We're still silver scale on this count, but that is a pretty good win. An hour and 7 minutes. That is a pretty long game, if you ask me. So yeah, this just shows that going on the defense it doesn't always work out. And trusting your instincts in pieces that you think are good, and also considering moves like considering consequences of moves before you do them. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to like the video and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.